Hello, chat. They intentionally sit there for 2 more minutes to let the timer run out. Yes. So that the doubters could get their points at least this time, as you know, whenever it's about the game of Magic the Gathering, they don't get many occasions as I win an overwhelming amount of them, right? Congrats on winning the Modern Cup. Thank you. It's a pretty nice tournament this weekend. Was enjoyable to play Paper Magics on the local scene. So was very happy to play and very happy to succeed. Today's stream is going to be kicked off by staring at deck lists. We've got the Modern Challenge, which is the doppelganger. Some people told me that we allegedly look alike, which I guess is possible. How much was the prize money? There was no prize money at the event. It was items. What's the word for that? Item prices. So I got plenty of cards and accessories, and a board game, which are on the shelf behind me right now, and also a gaming chair. I don't really have a use for because I already have a gaming chair. What board game? Odmęty grozy, which would translate to Depths of Terror. Seems to be Lovecraftian horror type board game. As on the box you can see some figurines of some tentacle monster mans. Right here. Actually here. It's unfathomable. The name in English makes more sense actually. Also got a box of New Capenna, which I guess you could unbox if you would find that type of content compelling over gameplay. Did you guys summon your items from the Exile Zone this weekend? Canny? I played Living End. I was casting Living End and just winning. Modern Challenge. Uberge Casa. I think Casa is a Living End gamer in general. Forest in the sideboard against Blood Mooners. Boseiyu, Hoenn-Dores. 2 Sky Turtles. I played with no turtles myself. I think they are pretty powerful, but not specifically answering the things that need to be answered. Vren could be Ban. 10-minute timeout. Did the fourth living end ever came up? Yes, twice. In the semi-final and the final, I actually did cascade into the fourth living end, which was pretty nice. And Ruins of Earth Sanctum was fine. I don't think it pained me, and I did cast a Grief once in a game that I ended up winning. So I think it was a mirror match. I cast a Grief in the mirror match and won thanks to the 3-2 attacker. I posted my decklist on Twitter. I had one Borover. Main deck like 4-4-4-4, 3 whales, 1 subtlety, 1 borrower, and 19 lands, 4 living ends. Cancer, did you ever play Clash Royale? I did not know. I've been told I might go to Wrocław with my new job. Is it based or not? Yeah. How was 2 Otawaras? I think 2 Otawaras is base. It's also pretty stuck, so. Like this person also has 2 Otawara, right? Everybody has 2 Otawara. It's a very good card. Well, the one subtlety is here because I want 3 subtleties in general, and it's the best, most synergistic within the deck out of the sideboard cards too. The glare on the sideboard cards kinda cringe, but I play 2 endurance because you only own 2. No, I play 2 endurance and 2 leyline because I like a mix. So it's the finals. What about endurance main deck instead of subtlety? Subtlety is more synergistic with the deck itself, so I prefer and answers problems while endurance. And I mean endurance is fine too, I guess, but I prefer subtlety, better color, and like more generally applicable. Endurance is just not applicable against everybody. And it's hard to pitch because you only have cascades to pitch for it. While subtlety is easy to pitch and also, you know, increase your blue count for negation too. Also my victory photograph. Yeah, also you have that one endurance and you have to remember to fetch your second breeding pool just in case. My hand looks like it was as if it was photoshopped poorly. The deck was double sleeved because I borrowed it. I don't have a living end deck. I'll give a like to Andrea Mengucci. Congrats, 182 of each Layla in the side. Where I can get a decklist on top 8, I don't know. I've seen that Charlie went second with the Affinity deck that he's playing. The version of Affinity that he's playing. And allegedly he's a powerful magician. 4 bridges. It's built a little bit differently than than mine. So we might play with it today to see if it's base. Because maybe it's a wiser way to build. Gdańsk, I thought it was called Paprikash because it was in Szczecin. The tournament originates from Szczecin. So at first it was a shop in Szczecin making a tournament series, but then the organizer decided to make them across the whole Poland. So like he makes tournaments in different places. Most of them were actually in Warsaw because that's the best place for most people. Uh, the closest. So it's Paprika Szczeciński Tour, which means that it's touring, right? Can you like the list with 4 living ends? I think 4 living ends is just good deck building, and 3 living ends is just not updating your list since 2012 when playing 3 living ends was actually optimal because it was a dead draw. But now it's not a dead draw, and you just want to have them in your deck, right? So like and now, like 4th living end is just a part of your mana base with griefs. So new ad nauseum built a meme, or is it somewhat playable? I went 3-2 with it. It seemed solidly tier 2, lower bounds of tier 2, like can win games, but not actually ahead of many people in matchups. Damn, I wish we could buy a Cancer Funko Pop, would be based. Would be pretty good, yeah. What will you be up for today, Mr. Streamer? Well, we're starting a deck list first. And then we're deciding on what deck to play. You could play League with this Tameshi deck list because I played with it once, had a bad experience and just dropped. But 3rd place at the Modern Showcase, pretty solid. So we're going to be Tameshi versus Affinity. 5th place, you are. Just a solid list. Play Arcane Land Destruction Pioneer. I don't know what's Arcane Land Destruction. Arcane Bombardment, the 6 mana enchantment. And then what? Cleansing Wildfire. No shader in UURR. This is a dated list. Let me present a discussion that happened in my Discord. Pigonti, the modern trophy leader and a Discord frequenter and a stream frequenter. I guess not a trophy leader. Last league time trophy leader. Yes, Snake and Peek into a sub-only content. Turn 4 and split the modern event I played today. But is Ledger good? No, Kekv. So, you know, I think it's probably not that very good. Like it is a 2 mana card. What's on a new GDS with Shredder? Sure, I don't think a looting Stormcrow is that good. Oh, 4 Stevens in this list. Probably no Moon then. 2 Magus of the Moon, damn. 1 Season Pyro. Oh. Did I say there was a deck with Arcane Bombardment? I missed the comment. A Twitch chatter asked me to play Pioneer Arcane Land Destruction. But I don't know what that is, so I guess that it's probably a deck using Arcane Bombardment. We already stared at the blue-black Reanimator control list, excited for that. Is there a one in this top 32? Ooh, free Subtlety main deck. Valakut's Awakening. Like, this is the cringes for me. Playing freaking Valakut Awakening over... Oh, no griefs. What? That is interesting. No griefers? I don't know what the reasoning would be. We get to play more cyclers. And they get not to play the shitty black cycler. But with how you can... With how playing Griefs makes living end... Like, playing Griefs is so free because you draw living ends a decent portion of the time. So then you just pitch living end that you drew to Griefs. So it's literally free. So I'll be interested in hearing an opinion from a person choosing to play a deck like this, but also Revenue is playing Living End forever. Maybe there is some method in this madness. And Grief returning from Living End is also just such a good way to make sure that your Living End crushes your opponent, they can't come back. It's pretty important, I think. Grief is just the best card in the deck. I don't know if it's the best card in the deck. It's pretty hard to say, but it's a very useful tool. Did I bring my gacha music to the tournament? No. But I had a fan approach me and say, "Hi, Kaniki. I'm a fan of your stream. I have 2 cards named Dress Down right here. I would like you to sign them in some way that they are gachified." So I took the pen from him and I typed and I wrote, "Fisting is $300 on one." And I wrote, "What the hell are you two doing here? Pulling on your wee-wees like a pack of fucking fruits?" I didn't fade in its entirety, but pulling on your wee-wees, and then I ran out of space. So now that person has 2 very base dress downs. Which I thought was a funny request too, so I was happy to do it. Get your ass back there. Yeah, that's pretty good. That would be shorter and probably more better on the card. Most of people playing free living ends, lol. Yeah, well, this stock to play free living ends. I think playing 4 is better, but a small margin. Playing 4 is better than playing 3, but it's pretty hard to, notice how much exactly this it is bad. Like if it's bad, and maybe I'm wrong too, but I think I'm not. Uh, so it's just slightly better to play 3. The 4, shit, I think it's slightly better to play 4, and I don't know, it's just takes a bit of thinking to figure that out. But then you also have to cut another card, and many people are gonna be like, yeah, everyone is fine playing 3, I don't want to carry cycler. Are free living ends true first, the new Slayer Stronghold true first? I think those are pretty close, yeah. Like I like Handware slightly better than Slayer Stronghold, and I like 4 living ends slightly better than 3 living ends. Feel when I draw 2 living ends, I lose as much to the 2 dread does as I lost to not being able to cascade. Again, living end is not a dead draw in your deck. You have grief, right? Unless you're Revenege, then you don't. But if you play grief, you just have grief. And you use it as your mana source. So yeah, I do draw living end slightly more often than others, but because it's not a bad draw, I'm not unhappy about that. It's fine. So I think there is more fail rate with 3 living ends than there is with 4. There is some fail rate with both, right? Drawing multiples versus running out of living ends. But I think it makes sense to, with how strong living end is, I think it makes perfect sense to build living end in a way where it's the most consistent at executing um, the plan. If you draw nuts with your living end deck, you'll beat everybody. You'll beat anybody, no matter what they have. Can discard it, discard that, force this, pow pow. They die. So I think it makes sense to decrease the fail rate, and I very often board out living end against decks with no counter spells, almost always. Against decks with counter spells, I definitely want 4 because I want to be able to living end twice at least for sure. I think that's pretty important. Black green coffers, high canister. Can you give me your opinion on my coffers? A green splash screen, principally for fine leaf devastation. I made 4 one a week ago. Oh, oi, oi, oi. Diagraph rebirth. 2 mana. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Flashbacks. 2 mana. Margrave persist. Profane. That's a weird splash. Oh, but that's an alternative to Unburial Rites. That's weaker than Burial Rites. You get 2 Assassin's Trophy, 3 decay, so you can answer Graveyard Hate, which Mono Black does not always can. Small move. You have a non-negligible influence on what is played in modern Kaneki, even more so online. Well, probably. But yeah, also, Alzik Mlex, thank you very much for the subs. Someone missed that. But in coffers, it's super costly to splash, and I kind of don't get what the splash really gives you. What's G? Oh, Amuletti. You are one season pyro, okay. Gdzie mi się chodzi tylko jedno. Wurg. 2 hears. Wait, what main deck? Damn. From my experience playing with this card, mostly not in modern yet, it is like the fact that you get to choose, unlike Relic of Progenitus, where your opponent gets to exile the weakest card. The fact that you get to choose every turn 2 cards, it's pretty close to Rest in Peace. Leyline of the Void. 4 total. So now, if you play against Living End with Relic, if you tap your Relic, they're gonna exile their like 3 fetch lands first. And with Hears, you will just exile the Cyclers every time. It is 2 mana though. But it is interesting, and this is a vehicle that has crew too, so you can crew it with Snapcaster Mage combo. Well, it's a pretty strong card in the format. Yeah, and in the meantime, it just becomes a 6/6 vehicle, then like 8/8 can just attack. Or grow Murktide Regent, yeah. Can you Force of Negation here? Yes. So there's not a creature. Tuza. Serkan's Radu Nationless Open. Yes. Gratuluję pucharu, no dzięki byku. This doesn't target players as good versus lane. That is true. What do I think about the Vivian combo deck? I haven't thought about it much. It's probably somewhat fine, but I don't have a strong opinion on it, and I haven't played with it or much against it yet. Hi Kaneki, do you think the blue-black land is really worth in Living End? I think it's pretty worth. I'm not 100% sure, but from just noticing how good how good for me my opponent's Urborgs were, I just wanted to have access to double black. Thank you very much for the donation, Adam. So we're going to be playing Adam's deck list, which I will look up real soon. Okay, so what happens if the stock market crashes? I don't know. I hope. Uh, Nothing too bad. Modern Tameshi Combo deck. Actually, Tameshi was the one deck I wanted to try. Anyways, I was looking at this deck list. We're just playing Turn Timbers and Explorers. Explorer seems base to me. This deck is playing Explorers, this one is playing Rens. Ren seems pretty good for the Cultivator Colossus. Well, kinda. Sort of. Can Wargate for an untapped land for Footfall Craters. The win con is to attack with a Colossus. That's big enough. Unfortunately, I don't own True the Astral. Which we will remedy. Mhm, 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 mhm. I wish you could just type Shockland and have all the Shocklands appear. Would speed up my adventures considerably. Wait, maybe I actually can. If you don't enters the battlefield tapped. Oh shit. This is a breakthrough for this stream. Only 4 Shocklands. Five, but the breeding pool's already done. Okay. So you go Hallowed, Fontana. No this. Stomping Grunda. Tempulo Gardeno is already here. And Scared Foundry. That's all. I missed the breakthrough. I found a way to search for all Shocklands so that when I replace the card styles, I go Maypay to life, get Markov Purifier in there. Can you search for just a promo set? That will be underway, yeah. How much is Ledger Shadow now? $20? Insane. Oops. Buy high, sell low. No. Buy high, never sell. It's the maxim. So we play with the Tameshi deck list, but first we're going to investigate the remaining lists from the top 32. Arenas, 2 Fury, 2 Endurance. It's pretty common for them to play 2 Endurance main deck, right? Because of all the living end. Red green. Sakurai, Dryad, Titan. Morning Canister, I heard you were the best modern player in Europe. Well, I won a 60 something people tournament. Can you tell me what you think of the list from the challenge versus your list? Alright. So the combo costs 4 mana. I kinda like Explore, but not sure. Not sure. No, I guess Lotus also. You need a Lotus. With Lotus you have enough mana. That's Lotus in your graveyard. Don't quite get the value of Turn Timber Symbiosis. I see the Vivian deck design you won. I did not know. The Cyber's Defense Grid, Sanctity Void. Pretty interesting. You have less ways to find Tameshi in your deck, right? Because this deck had Wargates too. Well, you have Wargates, but you have less ways to find, right? No Finale, no Turn Timber, which Turn Timber... Well, I mean, probably not really realistic to cast a 7 mana spell to find Tameshi, but... Technically. Shparas Headquarters. 2 Boseiju. 2 Otawara. The Legendary Lens might be kind of weird chum with Colossus. It seems fine, but I don't have like really no strong opinion on those lists. It's pretty hard for me to parse this way. Hello, Mr. Streamer. Congrats on winning a 60-something people tournament. Thank you. Is Ledger Shredder the biggest trap ever? No, there were bigger ones. Let's look at the deck list of the Zani. For Vivienna to Saheli. For this, Rampini. 2 ending, 1 Bob of Paradise. Ooh, a Sprawl Arbor Elf makes sense so that you ramp towards Vivian. Yetmir's Garden, Ketriatrioma. Three Amogus in the sideboard. Is there a Eladrami's call or something? Just raw drawing it. I like that it has the 3-2. That's a Yorion deck. Didn't even notice. What is a little bit not super is that you play a 2-card combo. In 80 cards, but at the same time, I guess it's also Vivian plus either free drop in play. And then you combo off, so then the Yorion is generally okay in this deck, so. It's probably not too bad, but Chandra is unplayable. For Aladrami, 2 play bounds seemed better. It probably seems better, yeah. It's very little use of drawing multiples of this, and the card is not actually even crucial. You could even play 1 and 4 Eladramis. The design just thought, damn, I really need a 5th 6 mana planeswalker in my deck. No way I could use Veil of Summer to resolve the ones I already got. Only to Sahili. Sahili is not a very good card to draw, especially in multiples, and there is no way to pitch her. So it makes sense to play 2, I think. Too bad you can't tutor her with whatever, but it makes sense to play 2, right? Seems like a nice list, sort of. I respect this list. 16 fetches, wow. Who needs Veil of Summer if your planeswalker is literally uncounterable? Well, 20% of your 6 mana planeswalkers are uncounterable. Fifteenth place, Vurg. Recent ref. White green. Heliod coming back from the dead. Vurg. 4 Utopia Sprawl, 4 Reverse. For Utopia Sprawl is aggressive amounts of Utopia Sprawl, but maybe makes sense. TBH, ramping both into Omnath and Fury was pretty good. Because there's so much better to hardcast, right? So pretty good. 7 removal spells. Like no nonsense elementals. Someone top 8 yesterday's challenge with ledgers over DRC. Sure. Cancer, how likely do you think it is that there is a deck right now in Modern that would be tier 0 but no one plays it? Very unlikely. Would need to be a deck that has, you know, like that is it's so hard to interact with, but there is no cards in the game that are hard to interact through. Counterspell, Unholy Heat, Solitude. The interactions are free and good enough to break you. For Grief, right? Grief plus Living Ends. Returning the Grief, that also breaks the combo decks. Actually, it's extremely likely. It's called Shape Menu. Yeah, for Birdman, sure. I mean, I think it's entirely possible to top 8 a tournament with a slightly worse version of a deck. I think it's extremely doable to top 8 a challenge with a slightly not slightly suboptimal version of a deck. Especially when it's the best deck in Modern. All sense except one main deck Magus, one off of Nissa. Off of Nissa is a cantrip. Kani Balkan. Oh, plain about please. It seems to be the same list. Yeah, it's the same list card for card. But yeah, one thing I would play. Well, I guess a turn to win is the attractive thing, right? Because you want to go turn 1 Arbor Elf, turn 2 Utopia Sprawl, make 4 mana, Accomplice, use Accomplice, put Vivian, win. If you want turn 2 win that badly, why you play Orion? Well, I don't know if you want it that badly, but it is potentially faster to not have to tutor for the Accomplice, and then I guess you can sideboard them out in slower matchups because you kind of don't need them. Would be nice to have alternative free drops. I guess you can board an Endurance. That's the alternative. Free dropper. What's colorless? Eldrazi Tron. I was thinking, what if you play... I was thinking, what if you play Eldrazi Tron? But also play Urborg and Yavimaya. And just a shit ton of expensive cards. And Oblivion Sour. And Relics. Times 4. And you play Matery Shaper for not Serial. And like you don't play Smasher, you don't need to play Smasher. You can play 4 Ballista and some removal to round it up. Yeah, you don't play Smasher, you can play the 5/8 based monster. And you can play like, well, it's pretty hard to play that many super expensive cards, but you can play like 2 big Eldrazi or a main deck Thundering Titan with your Urborg Yavimaya. Reshaper is also kinda cringe. I think if you have big plays in your deck to ramp towards, Reshaper is acceptable. Like for all the shit it gets, I think it's probably better now than it used to be. If you want to use as a bridge towards bigger cards. Lots of Utopia's pros in those decks. Next weekend, Wafotapa wins the challenge with 4 spreading seas. Or something. It's probably a great call on like the 4-color part. Congrats for the win on the paper, Evans. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was a nice tournament. Free living end, under Cringer. Living Cringer. Let's check Winged Hussar. Free living end, come on. -1 Architects, -1 Stripped River Winder to fit 2 Turtle, 2 Subtlety. Alright, interesting stuff. Let's see what won the Pioneer Challenge. Was it the Showcase Challenge? Living End roast this morning, question mark. Well, I'm roasting people who play free living ends, which is literally everybody else. May 7th. Tunnel Ignus, where did you see Tunnel Ignus? In Bern? 4 Tunnel Ignus. It's a hate piece against Amulet. I honestly think free living end is superior. See, I disagree because I think 4 is superior. Is Plured Mortite the best deck in Modern? Definitely. With 4 living ends, I have the option to go down to 3 against all non-counterspell matchups, while having my deck be maximally consistent game 1. And then I get to keep it the 4th against counterspell gamers, which I'm happy about. With 3 living ends, you can't go up to 4. So, checkmate. The Niv Meta deck probably appreciates being able to play 1 of each Triumph. Did I have a chance to play with Ledger Shadow and Blue Red? After some testing, I'm still Monka. What do you mean by Monka? I thought it's not good. I haven't had an opportunity to play it yet. So I don't know, but I doubt every card ever. Transmogrifying Ward and Nyx Lotus. Damn. It's very hard to evaluate, but I can't imagine 4 is correct. Well, that's maybe shows that there is just very little imagination here. The Chain Veil, what does this do? For each planeswalker you control may activate one of the to your beast. No. Does this combo somehow too? So, well, I guess with Kiora, Can just like keep on tapping Nyctas. Is blue red multi truly the best or just popular? Seems like a lot of people like playing blue red. Yeah, but it is the best deck. I had to guess which decks has the highest win rate in the modern leagues. I think it would be blue red. This only once extra. Yeah, but you untap it with Kiora, right? I guess you need to have mana from somewhere, so you don't untap Nyctas, that doesn't work. Siemanko Kanisterek, słyszałem, że nieźle potrykałeś Brytanów w niedzielę. Brytanów? No potrykałem. How hard to play would you say Blue Red is compared to other modern decks? It is noticeable when I play against somebody who's clueless and somebody who's a banger player. It's very scary to play against somebody like... If I queue in a modern league and I see that my opponent is playing blue-red, is going to be Jabberwocky. I don't think he's playing modern, but if it would be Jabberwocky or Nathan Stewart, I would be scared. And with every play, I would be very stressed. When I play against some random, sometimes they just like YOLO play iterations, then I die. Then they die. Not hard to play, maybe hard to master. Sure. I mean, it's like nothing is literally hard to play, right? You can just click on cards. I'm gonna play the donation list because we don't gonna be streaming for a very long time today. So I'm gonna play the Tameshi donation deck list. How about Wafotapa? Well, he doesn't play blue-red, but he's pretty scary on blue-white. It's like Tron, but Tron players are very noticeable. Well, the Tron badness mostly materializes by the fact they keep 7 and go 4 Ascension Stealings, and they're like, well, whoa. How do I like blue-white in modern? I don't. I think it's a terrible deck. Let me check if I entered with the correct deck list. Seems like that's the case. Is there a way to pick up footfall creators from my graveyard? Tameshi again. So you can safely cycle it. That's good. So you can Sunspend Bloom, then you have a Eldrami's Call. So this end is great. On the play. I play the Shockland and cycle my Footfall Crater. Actually, I guess that's bad because I can hit Lotus Bloom and again. So I should have did that immediately. Although now I can wait for after the discard spell. Not good, bros. Probably will not be getting triumphs as I would like to draw them to cycle them. We have plenty of mana, so you get Breeding Pool. We draw Vargate, which we can hold and get it discarded again. Probably going to take Tameshi, obviously, but what is the third black card opponent's playing? Third black? Question of Kozilek. They hit a Teferi. Classic. They can't cast it down. Getting a trap now might be good, so we can turn it into our hand with Tameshi. Very good point. Let's get a Yetmir's Garden because it's a new card. They have 2 mana. I can't believe that they wouldn't have a Vital Push. Ja pierdolę, no jest ręka. So if we get Tameshi, we go pick up Lotus, pick up Jetmist Garden to get the Lotus back, the kill Tameshi, and we just have to grind through the removal this way. Alternative way would be to wait, which is pretty bad against this card spell decks. We have Omnath, Eladrami's Call for like maybe Omnath, more Tameshi in our deck. Colossus, which we will be able to cast too. So we have some decent amounts of draws, and obviously there's also a chance that they just won't have the push or bolt somehow. Whoops, almost paid 0. Wait, they are F6. They are actually F6 and they draw the Colossus chat. Which better lucky than good, I guess. Nice draw. So we can let the Colossus die by returning all the lands. I think we want to redraw the max. Probably we just rather prefer to draw more cards. Just be a bit careful not to draw all your lands. You can Wargate for an untapped land. It's a bit sketchy. Oh, we get the Wargate. Opponent, come on. Why you scope? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we would get there probably. It's not sketchy, you just need not to be brainless. I know, it sounds a bit sketchy to me, but maybe I'm brainless. So we're playing against a Jund deck, a so-called grindy matchup. It literally never interferes with the combo, just a thing to keep in mind for sequencing. Well, Does interfere with the combo if you draw the war gates from the not from the first Colossus, right? I'm pretty sure. No Kaito for grindy matchups. We're playing no blocks, so no. Playing discard spells. Can Veil of Summer. They're playing Ragavan, so I want to keep Grozzers. Can play Burenton Forge Tender. I don't know if they play push, though. But maybe Burenton is preferable to Grazer in this matchup. Against discard spell deck. Grazer kinda lame. What? Probably Tireless Tracker. Have some card draw. Potentially Veil of Summer, Endurance, Strewn, Solitude, maybe, but Solitude doesn't seem great. I think those cards are interesting. I'm not sure if I will board in all of them. I will replace the Ragavans. Prismatic Ending useful to have against Hate. It's pretty tight. I don't see many cards I could board out. Let's skip the Veils. Because it's just discard spells and I want to draw. You can board out a Ren, I guess. But none of the cards seem exciting board outs for me. Can board out maybe the Footfall Crater if we don't need to play. Someone from my LGS played a one of the Barbaric mods that throws lands at the opponents and their walkers, and he was pretty happy with it. That doesn't seem like a very compact win con. 8 mana card. Wargate, Bloom, Tameshi, Ending for Ragavan, great hands. Just can't get a Sacred Foundry, which is pretty bad, but can get Temple Garden or the other one. I guess we get Hallowed Fountain, so we can keep Otawara in hand. If we draw something that finishes my stuff. I drew the swords, which is very nice. Can play it tapped. We have all colors now. Unfortunately, we can't Wargate though, because red is useless for Wargate. Maybe I should play the forest on a tapped one. But I'm not going. Don't want to Wargate for Lotus for sure. So, ooh, Jan Triumph, nice. Yeah, well, I can't Wargate on the next turn. Just that. Borenton is a nice draw. I can kill it. So maybe saving it for the next turn is actually better. So I'll have 2 Lotuses, so I have plenty of mana. So next turn I will have 9 mana, spend 4 on those. Then I draw a card of Tameshi, I make +6 mana. So I have 9 minus 4, 5, 11 mana, and we Wargate for Colossus. We actually have 1 more mana because we have the land drop. And then +2 mana because of the land drop. So we have like plenty of mana, so we can wait, I think. Not to expose those to the grease, so we can beat Bolt or Heat, I guess. Yeah, I did not count for the land drop I was going to make. Which obviously I can. No discard. Chalice on 0. Fuck. Wait, that's actually not that big of a deal, isn't it? Because they go to my graveyard still, which is where I want them. Sort of. No, well, I mean, I would prefer them in play, obviously. It's pretty annoying that you can chalice the blooms like this. Hmm. So I'm thinking. Hmm. I'm thinking. Play land, play tracker, play Burrenton. Probably. Hopefully they don't hold up in Abrupt Decay or other non-red removal. They will be felt hopefully compelled to kill the tracker over this. And then next time we can make moves. Which obviously it's pretty silly to have to play tracker. Play the land first, then the tracker, but okay, what are the Chalice? Well, I already countered my Lotuses. As we let it go. Like they can still choose to kill with grease, but maybe they will feel like damn, it's not too important. Lilian of the Veil. Player discards a card. I need to discard Vargata. Tearless Tracker didn't shine, I think. They have no cards anymore. Also, their Greased Ult. I think not making a clue was wrong though. Well, I draw the Wargate. I'm pretty lucky, but. I'm very lucky with my draws here, but. Drawing a land off Tameshi gives 11 mana, which is perfect. I don't need to draw a land. Tameshi draws me a land, right? If we don't crack Force Center, we might as well make a clue. Well, I wanted to have the Force Center already in play. And I only have one white source. I need to play the land to be able to play both in the same turn. So it was a matter of wanting to play both. Next seems very resilient, somewhat. More like cringe. Well put. X equals 7. And we wargate for the cultivator Colossus. And proceed to perform the combination. Opponent wish me good luck himself, so themselves. So shouldn't be surprised that we actually get pretty lucky. TCG shirt nerd. I have plenty of PT. Oh, Arena Championship shirts. Cultivator Colossus is so bad. We play it and just dies, lol. Need to draw another Colossus though. Which we didn't. I really don't understand why I still draw a card if Tameshi said that trigger only once each turn. It does trigger only once per turn. That draw draw. I don't understand what they're asking me, so 4 more draws, I guess. Yeah, I can recycle the Tameshis and the Triom. And you can probably Otawara bounce them enough. Why scoop? Why scoop? One, two, three, four, five. I would not combo this turn. I would just... Well, I would not win this turn. I would just have a board. Maybe that my opponent mistakes Colossus ability for Tameshis, yeah. Because we played a Colossus, but it just died. So maybe my opponent missed it. I played it. Because it was a 0-0. Reply facts king, crying emoji. You're by far easily the best and funniest rapper of all time. Just cracked me up so much, big bro. Why would I say that? If I left Colossus in play, I could bounce it with Otawara and replay it, which would have been better, I think. But of course, there's one Otawara in my... Well, I had the Otawara in play, so given the Otawara in play, I probably should have give up a card, a few manas to keep Colossus in play. Actually. Oh yeah, I needed all the mana, that's true. So I couldn't have had done that. Damn, very confusing combination at times. It's gonna get Jetmir's Garden. Wargate is very nice. Let me get Lotus next turn. Assume this, well, Drowned Catacombs. Might be Reanimator, but might be... Okay, Opt means control. No, I wish I had the Thrune in the main deck. And it seems pretty tough to beat this, TBH. Get a Tameshi, I think. Need to play some of my cards. I think I would like to Wargate so that my... it may just make sense to play the Fairy first, more so, I think. Because if it, like, if it somehow results and survives, then better. Don't like Wargating into the Fairy. What do you mean? Their Teferi? Doesn't seem to be an issue if they Wargate into my thing. Drown the lock, yeah, for sure, bro. Obviously, my opponent has cast a Archmage's Charm. Well, they killed the Lotus, they're tapped out, it's just fine. Tank. Cast Counterspell on Teferi. Literally the only possible course of action. Congratulations on prevailing in the Paprikash Open. You are a beast. Thank you. Could also draw 2 with Charm. Yeah, which is utterly unreasonable. Because you will spend more than 2 cards on killing the Teferi. Because I will minus and draw a card immediately, so if they prismatic gaining, they're like at best. The same. Hmm. Gdzie pucharek z Gdańska? Big puchar. It's really big, yeah. Imagine the Kajasgail. We get to draw through a Kajasgail, it's not that bad. Lol. No cap Kajasgail. Hmm. Well, that sucks, I guess. I pass it there and then. Does Esper play Solitude? I think Esper plays whatever Esper wants. Solitude is definitely within the pool of cards they could feasibly play. Look at these free drops, lol. Yeah, this is what Rafina's tower allows now. Can't you return the land without a target? You can't, no. You need a target. So I got kinda own. Contour spell. Resident Sleeper. Chat, do you think that gameplay-wise Counterspell was a good addition to the format of Modern? Yes, 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 yes. Okay. I think Counterspell was pretty toxic here on my Omnath. But I'm also a little bitch, so. Only course of action I see is to try to combo off, which I think I achieved by Eladrami's calling for Goblin Engineer. And then top decking the Tameshi. Why are you not casting Ren? Because as I said. I think it's cool that there's format where Counterspell is good. Yeah. I mean, Popper existed. But also Popper is arguably a format, not really a format. But I also do kind of agree that Counterspell is kind of boring. At least a little bit. As per charm targeting myself. But yeah, like, why do I not cast Ren? Well, this doesn't seem to be a reason to cast Ren as the card doesn't do anything. If you play the Tameshi, you still get to win with Ren. You get 5th land. Well, there's no fetches. The next card doesn't do anything. I got Kaya's Guile, so they got exiled. Well, I got through one first round. Well, I'll feed the cat because she's gonna explode otherwise. I also agree that counterspell is a bit boring. They should put a counterspell with a marginal stupid effect like counter target spell, flip a coin. Yeah. Right. I don't know the claims about control being a good matchup are going to materialize because I don't think I can win this game. They have simply as much as one counterspell. Counterspell is so boring. Play Stefari. Yeah. Not blocking because Kaya's Galv is an addict. Wow. I have lost my will to live. I think as control, I would like the footfall right there. The throne is not even good against the Chaos Gal deck. Chaos Gal is also each opponent, so you can't Veil of Summer it. Guess they have few basics, so maybe I can Magus Cheese into Relay Tracker. Sparring seems poor. Maybe I want Brundi Spide, but it seems so bad. I doubt it. Were you able to beat the famous Prison Throne player of Living End, even though Sodek, Living End former master, was unable to win? What do I attribute this victory to? In general, when you talk with Sodek about a matchup of a certain deck, as I was talking about Living End matchups with him between rounds, he's very scared of everything. He's like, oh no, like there is no use. You can't beat Laurie Beauvoir's Prison Throne because he has Charles and also he has X and also he has Y. It is way too much. So I think he's just very scared and he loses because of his defeatist mindset. Yes, just have Cascade and Force of Negation and like maybe something else on top of that. Because the Prison Throne deck, you kind of maybe need something on top of that sometimes. Because the Charles cost 0. But I don't know. First game, I had two Force of Negations immediately, so If it bury me on the next turn, I will be very sad. Yeah, Doomer mindset definitely. A lack of lands. Oh, well observed for sure. Hmm. Shit. I think the best draw is still to draw a land, play Ren, not Castle Adramis. Castle Vale. Yeah, probably would be good actually. Probably would be proper to cast Vale. To resolve the Vren. Ay ay caramba. It's very aggro. What did Vel do here? If I spend my Lotus mana and my upkeep on Vel of Summer, if I draw a land, I can actually resolve Ren. They can counter. So that would be a pretty big upside. But I didn't, so good thing I didn't cast it. Seems like they're casting Teferi. Chad, do you think gameplay wise Teferi Time Raveler is a positive influence in the format of Modern? I think yes. Why do I have this Misty Rainforest? I need to sell them. What are they saying? Teferi isn't even good against Cascade decks, TBH. Alright, it is pretty good. But it's not even that good. The tier 2. Well, the redeeming quality being that's main deckable. Was the second race near that good over the weekend? It didn't hurt me, and I cast Grief once, and I won that game by attacking with Grief, so I would say it was pretty good. Although, wouldn't be a huge difference if I run a different one. But I'm a fan of secondaries. I think it helps against hate. What was the meta, similar to MTG or not? The matchups I played. Maybe that's the fittest. But I probably would lose. The matchups I played yesterday, let me think. Blue-Eyed Affinity, like the Charlie build. Mirror. Hammer. Rhinos. Then the top 8. Amulet. Crabvine. Prison Tron. So I guess similar to Magic Online. The Crabvine matchup was actually pretty tough for Living End. Because they mill a lot of cards and they have creeping chills and you can't take any damage, and they also play Wonder. So it's kind of hard not to get hit by the Vengemites eventually. But I reanimated a whale in a big board, while my opponent also had a Wonder in play in a big board. But I could have blocked everything that I attacked with. But I also couldn't have attacked because my opponent had a Wonder. And if the Wonder died in combat, I would have died too. Which resulted in kind of a Borsal with a 1-2 Wonder attacking me for damages for a few turns. Until eventually I realized that my opponent milled themselves enough that I can Living End, kill their Stitcher Supplier, return 3 Stitcher Suppliers from the graveyard, and they will actually die to decking. It's pretty funny. Yeah, my opponent missed one Wonder attack, but it wouldn't have made a difference. Because I could have still taken one more hit and then do the thing on the coming turn. Which would also leave them dead. Oh, Tameshi. Tameshi-less. I would appreciate a land for... Or I guess Cultivator Colossus will do too. Sort of. Nice Grazer deck, by the way. It's not blocked because Kenteferi protected. Hope they don't play Charles for 0, obviously. Sure. Sure. W krainę zapomnienia. Also, let's hope they don't have Carnold. I would just wait. I don't. Doesn't seem like casting anything makes a lot of sense. Can draw Tameshi. I only have 2 lands. Really not sure about Groiser in this deck. Oh my pepperoni. Well, I can crack 2 Lotuses. Can do. No, I can do this. Not even good. That's the best way to do it, I guess, because we have the planes. I think the Omnav is necessary. We can draw fetch lands. No, cringe. So you go to whatever amount of life. You can play Photon Seal and bounce this. I think I prefer to do this. Waste the 4 mana from the Lotuses. No way to spend them. Can draw Tameshi, then we don't have enough stuff. Probably want to let Omnav live. No, we can't. They can force a trade. Maybe they will not attack. Hahaha, right. I'm really not a fan of Explorer, of Grazer in this deck. Explorer, I think, would be potentially so much better. No attacks. Just inviting me to draw a fetch land and have like everything nice. I think I'll bounce the Matari. Don't want to let them, like, if I draw a Tameshi, the discard doesn't do anything. Can draw maybe fetch land and then we can exile one of them with ending. Not attacking here is pretty puzzling. Nice and castable Ren. Now they don't force me to block even. How many fetches do we have in the deck? Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, we have 12 fetches. So a solid amount. Now they attack with both. Okay, no block. I think I prefer my Omnath in play. 6 mana is an Oblivion Sour. Or Ballista 3/3. Probably Ballista given from the casting happens. Oh, Chalice. Sure. Okay. It's not even that good. Oh. I don't have free green to cast this. Oops. Then I would have fetched a tapped red source. We're going to kill a Fodnot here, TBH. Like, Chalice, yeah, but I think this is a more immediate problem. Guess. Take 4. Can not die to smash if I don't attack. I don't think attacking is super relevant. Keeping cards in hand is relevant for Colossus. But you never just slam Colossus there. I didn't have the mana. We save Greater to deal 4 with Omnath next to Karn. You can do that with the fetch. We save the fetch and play. I wanted to play the Colossus, but I didn't realize I didn't have the manas. Had mana threat with Omnath trigger. I did not have... Well, I could have played a 4/4 Colossus, draw no cards. So no, I wasn't playing a 4/4 because it was not bigger than this. And to get the Omnath trigger, I needed to run, right? So... What's so great about Karn? I wonder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. They play a land, they can get the Titan. That will be problematic. Boat? I don't think boat is the best. Well, yeah, the fact that the Charles countered the own Reshaper is pretty funny. Relic of Progenitus. That's the best you've got. What not Seer? I mean, you're probably gonna lose. What the hell? Ice is being attacked. Interesting draw. Congratulations on your win this weekend, Mr. Streamer. Thanks. Bounce Charles maybe win for Relic? I can't. Seems pretty tough. Get bounce Fort not Seer, draw 2. Can draw a fetch, kill Karn, play Colossus, have blocker. Sounds better. Doesn't seem like I can win. Bounce Relic maybe win. How? They don't draw a card. They sacrifice. Can at least play spells and get land back. I can play spells too. Boseio. Alright, so you can prismatically end the relic. Crack fetch. Pick up fetch. I guess you can attack Karn. Maybe that's better. Then they either block or lose Karn. If they lose Karn, I get to gain more life, which is same as... Yeah. I'll attack Karn. If I die to Warping Whale, then... Or like... Other bullshit, then... Can we trigger Omna to kill the Karn? We can, but I don't think it's the best. Why is it better than just making them crack with Ren? I don't know. Because I gain life instead of trading Omna. I think Colossus is the most valuable in play now. Without the ferry, you can combo. Well, kinda. Yeah, if without ferry, you can. If we draw Tameshi, we can combo. If not, we hit Tron lands twice next turn, as they don't have Tron. Six mana, scary. Another chalice on free doesn't seem very threatening. I need a Wargate, right? Wargate would work too, yeah. I don't know if I want to ending a Footnote Seer. Maybe I do. I think I do. Drawing a fetch is pretty good. Go to 8. Kill. Do we ever Boseiju the Saga? Well, I do it right now, yeah. Eight attack. Nothing attack yet. I am a chicken, and like if I control the lens, they will die too. Alright, somehow we won with the fair plan, so the fair plan confirmed actually working. Definitely triple Boseiju opponent. Grazer seems just generically unplayable. I get that it is in the main as an answer to Saga to Ragavan. And one could argue for Solitude for the Fortnite Seers as a Eladrami's called target. I think it would be nice to have something like that. I think Lotus Bloom, drawing multiples is really bad against the Chalice deck. They'll just put the Chalice on 0. And there is no way for me to prevent that. Prismatic Ending seems fine. Base deleted from BTTV. Yeah, but like BTTV is like a third party thing. Kick. Alright, I added base. Thank you, Bamzing, for putting so much money down the drain. Very cool. I had 2 Lotuses, just rely on the Engineer, probably 2 with 2 money. Maybe got like Tefari, it's not that great. They like shown the inclinations to put chances on free. Feel like they lost that game attacking your face and not Tefari on that one turn. Very likely. I was surprised they did that. I think they also lost by not attacking with their 2 Fortnite Seers. When I had 8 life and I had a Nomnef. DJ Gigante, thank you very much. It's pretty shit. Can't play the Ren. Because I can't fetch the proper land. I'd consider playing Wooded Foothills. Can draw Triumph. So we get Relic, that's fine. Okay, we draw the Triumph. Belana, thank you very much for this resub. I appreciate your support very much. I took my Wargate. I draw Wargate. Coincidence? Could just ignore them in combo, I guess, when I get the Lotus. Sort of. Well, not quite combo, but can have that out. How do I get a Kaneki to judge a list I made? You post a link to it and say, hey, Canister, would you mind looking at my deck list? It's something, something. And then I will typically look. Karn plus on my Lotus. No, Ballista. Sure. What did you show me? Turbo Shadow. Shadow of Morality, Scourge of Skiklaves, and Shadow. It's a lot of Shadow. Drawing Swamps is kinda bad, so I probably wouldn't play two. Shadows of Morality is not a modern playable card. I mean, I think it's the Scourge of Skiklaves is probably the worst one actually. Ever since Dress Down and MH2, there's kinda little allure of that card. Shadow of Mortality actually has some Morktide upside, so it's not the most worthless ever. Shadow of Mortality seems much worse than Skyclave. Okay, I don't agree. I think it looks much better than Skyclave. Wait. So I could just Tameshi here. Like Shadow of Morality is like the Morktide type card, right? A bit harder to cast, but dodges removal. Costs enough flying, and it's probably harder to cast than Morktide Regent. So overall, it's probably not better, but therefore you're probably casting for 4. Nah. Nah. Well, if you, I don't think it's that hard to get 7 life. Whoops, I closed. Fetch shock puts you 1 off for turn 2. 14. Well, it doesn't. Needs 7 life to cast it for 2 mana. This is a street rave deck, so I mean, if you wouldn't play Scourge Skyclades, you could play more Swift Speed and also play Mutagenic Growth, and I think that could also work. Wait, I misread. Yeah, I guess the card is worse now then. Yeah, I said I wouldn't play 2 Swamp. This song, bro, is freaking weeps. What derby is weird even for weep standards. Is that this game, the gacha game with horse girls? It's not like they're called horse girls, but there's not much that's actually horse about them. It's mostly just anime girls. How does this deck combo off? Lotus Bloom, Tameshi, and Cultivator Colossus. You know what sounds awkward? Casting Shadow Morality and then your opponent's Solitudes, and you're like, damn, bro. Not cool. But yeah, I would play go with Swift Spears and Mutagenic Grows probably. Maybe Mutagenic is not good anymore, but I think it's fine. Hmm. Pretty good draw. I guess we're just gonna do some movements. Five mana. So I get Lotus once again and play Teferi and Solitude, but in what exact order? Want to try Flame? Is that really dumb? Dumb? Not. Extremely unlikely to actually work out? Yeah. I think I'll bounce Phodnos here and Excel Ballista. I don't know. Probably better to do it the other way around. Bounce Ballista. Plus Tefari. So I want to what? Let them have Ballista. Plus Tefari. I guess. Yeah, interacting the Ballista is pretty poor here. Can plus and kill Tameshi with that the entire turn. Think. It's probably worth playing, probably. Basilisk Scholar, damn. Insane. Why do we not draw a card from Tameshi's ability the last 2 times? Is there a bug? This ability triggers only once each turn. Not a bug. This guy would be much more powerful. This combo would be much more powerful if that was the case. Aravi. No. Matari. Aran chan chan. Guli 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 guli. Aran chan chan. Aran chan chan. Aran chan chan. Yes, definitely Magus time. Playing a different fetch just so they know. I feel like I'm living in a time loop with the same people requesting the same songs every day. I would vote in favor of a law that would make repeat requests from day to day to day illegal. Yeah, I was pondering just making song requests a thing that happens twice a week, twice a time, twice a week, but not every day. So that it would reduce the amount of repeat requests because sometimes people definitely just run out of ideas. Congrats on the winning dice. Thank you, Barczek. Somebody from Krakow wanted to go, so I didn't go either. Pog. I have a lot to suspend on the next turn. We're going to combo off. Well, I guess we not gonna, but maybe we will. I have 9 mana next turn, so we can't quite Colossus. But we are doing the Fairy Ren stuff, which is typically quite potent, so yeah, the mana is a bit. I guess we can Otawara this, then bounce Otawara anyways. How did living end feel? Obviously won the event, but I have confidence in ability to remain objective. It felt like I typed that out on twitter.com. It felt like getting unshackled, getting rid of something that was holding me down. I've been playing Yorion on this stream for half a year, and I was the one who was trying to awkwardly answer to literally everything that my opponent did throughout the game. We're going to just get Colossus next turn. Also get Tameshi instant speed. And it was refreshing because finally, again, I was the one who knocks instead of my opponent being the one who knocks. Tameshi Garden on Tawara, we get 3 draws to a Colossus with Tameshi that turn. Well, the Lotus, I guess, is here already. You can also Otawara, like Ren Otawara, Ren Otawara, Ren Otawara. So maybe I could have. How many Yorion decks did you beat? 0. No one played that. Like, I don't know. I guess, you know, I've seen some Yorion decks, but like there's probably 2 or 3. Like given the price of them, I think in paper they're actually not that very popular. But I was finally the one who knocks. And it's also just my play style too. I'm on the plan of closing, just straight up still. Hmm. Alright, let's get Tameshi, and in worst case you're gonna kill their like 4 lands or something. It might actually work better, I think. Well, it's like, oh yeah, fuck this shit. Not playing anymore. Because he would go return it twice again, so lose this and this too, so he'd have 3 lands. I would have 3 lands in play too. And next turn I can redraw with Tameshi and we get the Eladrami's call for the Colossus. Right, this deck is not the worst. It's actually kinda functional. Is it considered a win by fair plan? Yeah, kinda. I don't know. Like, it's unfair. My opponent only played Matery Shaper. He did that 4 times, but it was the same Matery Shaper, so. If you hit the mirror, you draw 80% of the time. Yeah, it is actually insane time-wise with house. Like, I don't trust people to be fast in paper, which is also a big strike against slow decks. Just the added stress and draws. It's not good. With living end, you don't draw. Maybe in the mirror, it's kind of weird jump, and both of you have a headache from trying to think if you have any reasonable place. I mooned some noodle online player the other day and they swore that Moon is bad against them. Well, Moon is it's a pretty short window in which Moon is effective against 4 color, I would say. Consider it a bad amulet deck. Is it better? This Tameshi deck, I don't think it has much to do with amulet. Would you card to elaborate on the Sunken Ruins main? My experience is a poopy card. It didn't hurt me. I cast Grief once and won with it. Simple. I was just very happy with people. I was just very happy when people played Urborg against me. I was able to hardcast my stuff, so. Hammer with Smith. It's not Hammer, it's the artifact. Combo deck. They will get a relic next turn, which is pretty tough. They don't play removal though. You can get Engineer but play Tameshi. Or you can bounce the Saga, maybe that's the best. They replay on 1 and go Goblin Engineer, then they go to 2. Or you can just Wargate for the Lotus next turn and combo. Living in with Grief, Force, Endurance is cheap, question mark. Well, living in with Stripped Riverwinder is cheap. Tabletop $1,000 though, so actually I don't know, that's cheap. It's pretty sizable amount. I mean, well, it's not. It's at the same price as everything else. Baron is cheap. Everything else is 1,000 and or more. Well, cheap, $500. Cheap deck. I think the goldfish prices are typically surprisingly high, but yeah, like pretty costly. Play Asmo with Rocco. That card isn't even good. So we can play Colossus, right? Because we can have 4 lands, get Lotus, play Tameshi, return land. Uh, then you have 4 lands, so it's 8 mana, right? And we need 8 mana. Work it for Asmo. Sounds interesting. Well, not quite with. You have plenty of redraws. The crater doesn't seems I mean it's probably gonna work fine, but it's a little bit weird. It's not actually the cleanest scale condition. Although it does take just one slot, so I guess it's fine in that way. Well, it's more efficient than finally, right? Because you don't have to put the finally in your deck. But the fact that you need to wargate for an untapped land, right? That's kind of, I don't know. That means that if you draw your untapped lands, no, you can enchant a fetch land actually. Yeah. So you can enchant a fetch land, so you can just have a fetch land in your deck. Okay, it's much better than I thought. I kind of didn't grasp that. Worried for costs a win now? Yes, it will be. Oh shit. -1 Colossus. Colossus is dead. Should have kept a land in hand in play so that it survives, obviously. Thank you very much for the sub. I'm gonna get out extra Colossus. Gonna get a island. Enchant the island. Suspend. Going to get the Colossus into play. It's gonna be 16, so it's enough. Yeah, I thought you must enchant a mana producing land, but you actually don't, which is pretty big difference. I say turn for kill, actually pretty impressive stuff. And Cultivator Colossus now attacks. Finally being a kill even with all Colossus in graveyard or in another Wargate effect. Cheaper for creatures is more convincing to me. Yeah, I don't think finally is necessarily bad. But because more tutors is not actually bad, but it seems like Footfall Crater is pretty low opportunity cost because you can cycle it when you draw it. So playing as artifacts.com. They have Saga, Relic. It's kinda it. Don't want Vel, don't want Burenton. Don't want monsters. Could have sold it for Ursa. Probably will cut the Grazer because if there is no Ragavan, I see no reason to play that card. They played their own Teferi, so maybe you can cut a Lotus. How the passages. I guess Saga, Hate can be useful. Creator looks sweet mostly because of cycling. That is indeed the biggest draw. Damn, this list has 4 prismatic endings. Looks pretty nice. Like, looks better than what I was seeing in the past. Like, no interaction for Ragavan builds, whatnot. This kind of shit. Temple Garden. Can get Steam Vents. Basically, 4 color of powerful combo. Yeah, and 60 cards. Maybe it's better to get Scared Foundry and Breeding Pool. Probably yes. Probably was, yeah. Definitely was. Please no 0. Yes. I would probably play a few less Misty Rainforests because not being able to fetch Sacred Foundry with it came up a few times. How did I do at the Polish tournament? I won. Got a nice trophy for it, chat. Might have seen my trophy on Twitter, but I'll show you. nice. It is. Like if you look beneath here, it says made in China in big letters, but it's pretty large. So solid gold, yeah, actually it is. Many graveyard hates. Just swap it for a foothills or a different land entirely. Yeah, I think foothills. Like maybe just like one main seed for one foothills or something. If you're skipping steam vents, but not Sacred Foundry. I guess I play Tameshi. I play Living End. Now it's finally the one who knocks. Passing with 3 mana, no outburst in hand, but my opponent doesn't know. They have to shit their pants. Or not play anything. While me, I get to live my life comfortably with 3 counter spells. And discard spells. One, two, three, four, 5 artifacts. Monitor next turn, very cheap. Very cheap monitor. Hmm. Can have Metallic Rebuke, but hopefully they won't. Yeah, Lori Vuva is a Polish gamer from Warsaw. This patch, not cool. But Lori Vuva look like their profile pics, an old person. Well, I think he still kind of looks like an old person still. Arguably. What's the problem with those affinity decks? Every time I play versus them, they look somewhat powerful. I think they are somewhat powerful. I played with many lists, and they were somewhat powerful exactly. Maybe sometimes a bit lackluster, just like power level wise. But my points deck is they're probably playing the list with 8 artifact lands, which may be sensible. They don't play expressive iteration, but they do have, 4 monitors, which I think are pretty comparable. TBH. I don't think not playing iteration is an issue. I don't know what I can do here. We kill Saga. Iteration Tameshi. Oh, it sound that great. There's many cards that are not easily castable. I mean, not playing a special iteration modern requires strong motivations. I don't know. Well, I kind of don't buy that. Like, iteration is a great card, and Blue Red is a great deck, but I don't think it's an irreplaceable card advantage spell. But it is also kind of hard to say what this deck does well, right? Exactly. Dumpling Sphere, yeah, it's the same thing. What the same thing? I should bounce the Smith. Do not die. Cell can die next turn. My green black rock deck, I replace iteration with Knight's Whisper. Same card basically. Well, this, but unironically. Can make some movements here. So I'm getting this, good. We get the Lotus and we draw a card and get some mana. Can have a Basheju to not die on the next turn again. Can we have a second Lotus coming? No, we don't. Can also get countered by Metallic Rebuka and then it's bad. Such is life. Now they play an artifact, equip, and I have to Chamlog with Tameshi, so I probably die. No equipage, so we don't die. Can just top deck and win. Does not seem to qualify. Ugh. So I had a Mishra's bubble here somewhere. It would actually be super base. Kinda. What can you draw there? Wargate for or Goblin Engineer for the Lotus. And then we can do the Tameshi combination, make a lot of mana, and draw Colossus off of the trigger. So we need to top deck twice, but we could. We could. Don't think on any of the cards, yeah. So many grave hates that I don't have like a super good way to stop it. Maybe I don't want engineer, but I think they have the ferry too. Probably have one soul guide and one something else. It's fine. 5 lands with a Tawara, and I guess pretty solid all around. Have good spells. Can't play the Mishra's Bubble, but it turns out there are so few situations where you'd be happy bouncing lands to get more cards for next turn. Unless you already have a Bloom, yeah. Yeah, it's probably just happens very infrequently. Interesting. Don't quite want to let them draw. But maybe it's better curve-wise, so we get Tameshi and then Engineer. And just win. Seems like they don't have removal under the... Well, they had Dispatch. But do I think Footfall is better than Finally of Devastation? I think likely it is. But it's not by huge margin. Bootleg Stash. Doesn't sound very good. Oh no, they have the Rebuke. It'd be nice to be able to search for a mana creature. But I guess best you can do is Grazer, which we can't find because I bought it out. Chat be like, you know what would make this deck better? The worst card ever printed for Commander. Well, that Joseph just said it's not related. Probably wouldn't make the deck better indeed. Just met a Polish guy, asked him if he knew canister and he didn't. Damn. Guess I'll find Omnath. I shouldn't have used my fetches then. Based. It's somewhat problematic that it's so hard to win through those. Guess those little. Guess Omnath again. Has to be Omnath. No, come on. Is this fucking deck ever not top decked VOD monitor in this situation? Yeah, and then obviously a second one. Literally always the case. Now play Saga. Christmas time. Watch them rebuke this too. Or at least dispatch. Alright, was not meant to be. Did Select play the same list you did? I think you play a few cards different. Alright, we died. This deck does seem fairly fragile to relics. I think. Endurance can stop your combination turn 2. La 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 la. Na 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 na, gay apparel. Du, 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 du. Oh, NG is smoother than common, bros. My deck is hardly a deck of mythics. Tameshi is a rare too. Answer be like, loses to hate, yeah. I don't know if Affinity went this full circle. It's just that this Affinity deck is like kinda focusing on creating card advantage as that's necessary in today's modern. The 7 mana Affinity monsters, just summoning them early doesn't do anything in the format. You really need to draw cards in modern. There's no way to beat the bush around it. Okay, we lost 2 relics. What did we lose the other round? I guess control. Control seemed really tough. Giganta, the mulligan this. Keep. But it would be really great to not play Grazer, to play something else. Unless Grazer has some hidden, very important role that I'm missing, but just seems really bad. Oh, Giganta, no, ooh, it's this. Wait, where's my library top? I can kill the land, I'm sorry, Lantern Man. Casca specifically seems tough. White is pretty easy, could be. Definitely tougher than Blue-White, yeah. Blocks Ragavana, yeah, I know that's the role, but if there would be something else. No, Spell Bomb. So people have been playing Utopia Sprawl. Doesn't seem great either. I know, 2 more removal spells. Is that doable? Is that good? Might not be good. I was watching some PT top 8s and I saw you in PT Excellent, question mark? Yes, you did. That's my first PT top 8. Excellent. Played 4-color energy. Cancer is like the Taylor Swift of Poland because he's very popular and cries about his misfortunes. Very true. Smart ending, sad. I was like, yeah, they will not kill my Tameshi, but then they kill my Tameshi. I got the Yetmer's Garden, which is bad, I guess something runs better. GZ on winning Paprikash, thank you. Alright, skill the lands again. Do you need a target for activating Tameshi? Unfortunately, you do. Tameshi land destruction. Codex Shredder. Assembled. Well, I guess it's not reassembled. Codex Shredder in play. Arguably, keeping a land in hand at this point because of the Colossus might be wise. It seems we are about to get Lantern Lee controlled. Oh, they got the Lantern. Damn. Another fetch land. Not good, not good. Sure. It's not really a problem. With bad card on top, kinda. I'll draw and play the third fetch. Fuck, monolands. Because I would prefer to not have to crack fetches until I naturally have a good card on top of my deck. Academy Ruins. Always needs to start cracking now. A kurwa mać. Alright, call, we draw. Tavara. Tavara doesn't help. Ren. Yeah, Bosejan Lantern. Good deck. Kinda. Ren 6 is cracked here, right? Is she? One has a prismatic ending in hand, and that card kind of doesn't do anything. I decided it does enough. See if they mill the cultivator. They do, obviously. Gonna Ren. Boseju. Boseju is pretty good. When I played the fetches after I played Ren, so you could shuffle because I had the Colossus in top, so I would force my opponent to mill it instead of not milling it, I think. Now I play it. But they don't have the ending. Well, we know they have it, so I don't know why would I consider the situation if they don't have it, right? As much as I love being a Lantern gamer, the deck is probably completely unplayable now, right? Adding Moseju, I'm now instant speed hammer. Yeah. It's not good. Yeah, I could wait to crack. Maybe I should have played. Maybe you're right. Awesome. We're drawing the Ladramis. They shuffle. Okay. We draw. No Lantern briefly. Get the Lantern back. Replay it. I have to get super lucky again. Wargate. It's pretty lucky. We have I think, relatively many powerful draws, so the ferry's pretty good. Might want to mill it. They might also not want. Any chance we scoop for content? But I think I can win, so I don't want scoop. Because we're playing a real game still. If I was actually locked, I would scoop, but it's clearly on the verge, right? Flipping a relevant card now again. Let's go. This is Boseju, so it's okay. Now what do we Passeggio? Passeggio the Spire, I guess. Why did I draw ending? Because I killed the white stars. So I think I want them to draw it. Maybe wrong. Oh, they fetched still. I forgot to shuffle. Well, I don't guess. Too bad. What the hell are you talking about? Didn't find a white source. Alright. Lantern kinda poor. And we want endurance for reshuffling graveyard. Probably it's not really relevant. Grazer poor. Magus. I guess Magus. You put Shuffler in the deck, how they win. Well, if you put a Shatter in the deck, how they win. The same way, right? Is Wargate underrated, given that the base to fetch any land into play for free mana? I think that the fact is not very good, right? In general. I don't know what I can cut. I'll go with 61. Your point, unironically should have sacked the Lantern. In what point exactly? They very likely. Do I have an opinion on Legend Blue Red? People seem split about it, and I haven't had a time test yet, unfortunately. I think Ledger Shadow will go the way of Wandering Emperor in Blue White, most likely. Now I have to check if people stopped playing Wandering Emperor. Oh shit. Alright, Ledger Shredder will go the way that the Wandering Emperor will go in the future. In Modern, which is like new card, fine, but it's not that good actually in the end. You just think about it, like just read the shader and like what it does. It's clearly worse than the cards you're playing. A free removals I keep. Yeah, cutting one work type might be just good overall, given the fact that it's pretty bad to draw multiples early. Shadow good in Legacy because looting is powerful when you have cards that very drastically vary in power between early and mid game. I don't know if that's true, but maybe. Should have been good against Gregor It seemed nice, yeah. Well, maybe you can play two, and then it's like a fine secondary threat, tertiary threat, seventh threat. Sage went worse, ironic. You have strings and bell. One. Shadow is also fairly bolt proof. Is it really? Well, it's kind of bolt resistant somewhat, so. Could have Mashur drawing a tracker, I guess, with the Jetman's Garden, but well, tracker is unbeatable for Lantern. Maybe it was worth it actually. Congrats on the tournament win, by the way, Canister. How many players entered? It was 60 something players, so not the biggest. $60. 60. Yeah, I just did send the error report tomorrow. Oh shit, they can draw an Urza Saga. They got a Codex Shredder though. To be fair, no more rivals win as well. That's true. Ah, strings on top. Shit. Oh yeah, shuffle twice. That's awesome. What? How do you want to win against this? My opponents are no outs now. Guess they can get Needle Boseju. Yeah, Needle Rand. Well, if you Needle Rand and Boseju these kills the Needle and I pick up Boseju, so it doesn't seem better. Yeah, that was pretty sad. Reminder of Lantern vulnerability to every other effect nowadays. Yeah, if you use the Boseju, well, which I would, right? I was holding it and waiting for the card I would grab. Alright, I actually have to finish the stream immediately as I'm going to play in the weekly Pioneer event in my LGS, which begins in 25 minutes. It means I have to leave now. So thank you for watching. Tomorrow, a little bit of a longer stream for sure. I'm playing Mono Green Devotions. Oh, so see you and thank you very much for the donation, Adam. I think the deck has some legs with 3-2. I kind of feels like a 3-2 deck, TBH. Came 1 minute ago. Yeah. Too bad, too bad. Take care, broskies.